welcome to session 14. Yeah, and we discussed few fundamental economic tools or economic concepts in the business economics in previous sessions. Anybody remember any concepts? What are the concepts we discussed in the previous classes?
So incremental cost, opportunity
Incremental cost,
cost,
opportunity
opportunity
cost,
Marginal cost, marginal
okay,
cost,
marginal cost,
Time perspective.
time
dis-
perspective,
discounting principle.
discounting principle, very good. We covered almost everything, no? Good. So today it's very important concept we are going to learn. Equi-marginal principle. Equi-marginal principle. Okay. Any idea what is equi-marginal principle? Any idea?
Marginal utility provided by a commodity should be equal to the amount of money spent.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically this principle based on the law of equi-marginal utility. So from theory of consumer behavior. Okay. Law of marginal utility, law of marginal utility. Basically, the idea of law of equi-marginal utility, marginal principle was first mentioned by whom? H.H. Goshen. So that's why it is also called as Goshen's second law. So of course, after Alfred Marshall, so basically made a significant refinements for this law in his Principles of Economics. Basically, it was introduced by the H.H. Goshen. So what is H.H. Goshen's first law? Any idea? So this law is called as the Goshen's second law. First law is DMU, diminishing marginal utility. Okay. So today we are going to learn this law of law of equi-marginal utility. So it's a very simple. Try to understand. First, try to understand. What is basically equi means what? Equi means what? Anybody? What is equi means what? Anyone?
equal,
Equal.
It means equal. Very good. Equi means equal. What is marginal means what?
Maximum satisfaction.
Margin.
Additional.
Very good. Additional or extra unit. Okay. Extra unit. Then what is utility? Anybody?
Want satisfying power of a commodity.
Okay. Want satisfying power of a commodity. Good. Anybody? What is want satisfying power of a commodity? What is utility?
Usage, sir.
Useful. State of being useful.
Usage.
Useful. Very good. Very good. Usage. Good. So basically, utility is a measure of satisfaction or happiness or benefit that results from the consumption of a good. That results from the consumption of a good. It is a measure of satisfaction or happiness or benefit that results from the consumption of a good. The power of a commodity that satisfies the human needs. Somebody said want satisfying power of a commodity is called utility. Every commodity has a power to satisfy the human needs, isn't it? Every commodity, take an example of every commodity has a power to satisfy the human needs. The want satisfying power of commodity is called utility. Basically, utility is a psychological feeling of satisfaction. Same commodity may give different levels of satisfaction to the different people. Okay, when I said it is a psychological feeling, so same commodity will give a different satisfaction to the different people. Okay, so sometimes same consumers may derive at different levels of satisfaction from the same commodity at times or at different places, isn't it? So when you feel cold, maybe a cup of coffee will give more satisfaction than when you are take the same cup of coffee in the afternoon, isn't it? So the same consumer may get a different satisfaction from the same commodity at times or at different places. So utility cannot be measured because how can we? When I said it is a psychological factor, we can't measure it. So, but two approaches generally used by the economists regarding the measurement of utility. Anybody can you guess what are the different two methods of utility? Anybody? Uh, Approaches to measure the utility?
Cardinal utility and ordinal utility.
Very good. What is cardinal utility and ordinal utility?
Cardinal utility, which we can calculate in numbers.
Very good.
Ordinal with ranks.
Very good. We can calculate with utils of the satisfaction. We can calculate with the numbers. So in other words, it is ranking. Very good. Of course, you know what is utility. What is utility means? It's a measure of satisfaction or happiness or a benefit that results from a consumption of a commodity. And also, it's the one satisfying power of a commodity is called the utility, or the power of a commodity. The power of a commodity. So that satisfy the human needs is called utility. So we know what is utility. So every product has some utility. Every product has an ability to satisfy the human need. So now we are going to discuss these three things. So equi means equal, marginal means additional, utility means the bond satisfying power of a commodity is called utility. So tell me, what is marginal utility now? Marginal utility.
Sir, utility derived from consuming an additional unit of a commodity.
Very good. The utility derived from consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. See, utility received from consumption of an additional unit of a good is called marginal utility. Say, for example, when you consume, first apple, you will get some satisfaction. When you feel very hungry, when you consume first apple, you will get some satisfaction, isn't it? If you consume second apple, you will get some satisfaction, but not like first apple, isn't it? Third apple will also give some satisfaction, not like first apple. Every time when you receive additional unit of good, you will get additional utility. So the utility received from the consumption of an additional unit is called marginal utility. What is total utility?
Total amount of satisfaction received from consuming n number of units of a
Very good. The
commodity.
total, total satisfaction, derived from the received from the consumption of a n number of commodities. That is called total utility. So I hope I am clear here. So what is utility? The one satisfying power of a commodity is called utility. What is marginal utility? The utility received from consumption of an additional unit of a good is called
Marginal utility.
Marginal utility.
Very good. So now let me tell you one more point here. So the law of marginal utility, basically, it is an extension of law of diminishing marginal utility. Have you heard about it? This one, law of diminishing marginal utility.
Yes, sir.
What it is basically, it is an extension of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Tell me, what is law of diminishing marginal utility?
Sir, as the quantity of a commodity consumed increases, the total utility keeps decreasing.
Very good, very good. Total utility. Is it total utility?
Sorry, marginal utility keeps decreasing.
Yeah. The law of diminishing marginal utility states that as a quantity consumed of a commodity goes on increasing, the utility derived from each successive unit goes on diminishing. Consumption of all other commodities remaining the same. So what will happen? Generally, the quantity of the commodity consumed by the consumer increases. So the marginal utility derived from each successive unit of a commodity tends to diminish. So basically, this law is applicable to all consumer goods, whether it is a durable or non-durable goods. Okay. we know this. Those who already studied economics, they know very clearly about this law of diminishing marginal utility. Say, for example, suppose a man is very thirsty, so he goes to the market and buys a bottle of water, a small 50 ml bottle of water. So the first bottle gives him an immense pleasure, isn't it? So, in other words, the first water bottle has a great utility for him. It will give him a lot of satisfaction. Or take an example of the first glass of water. When you are feeling very thirsty, the first glass of water will give us an immense pleasure, isn't it? That is called, the great utility for us. The first glass. Again, if he takes the second glass of water after that, what will happen? The utility will be less than that of the first one, isn't it? If he takes, or drinks third glass of water, the utility declines again. Understood? So if you keep on consuming, or the quantity of commodity consumed by the consumer increases, what will happen? The marginal utility derived from each successive unit will diminish. Each successive unit of a commodity will diminish. So the first glass of water will give us, when you feel very thirsty, will give us immense pleasure or a more utility for us. So then the second glass of water also will give some satisfaction, but not like first glass. Third glass of water also will give some satisfaction, not like the second glass. And fourth glass of water also will give some satisfaction, relatively very less, not like the third. Maybe after that, if you take water, you will be not satisfied. You feel dissatisfied with that extra water. So what is law of diminishing marginal utility? So the quantity of a commodity, when you keep on consuming the same commodity, so what will happen? The marginal utility, the satisfaction derived from the additional unit will tends to decline. That is law of diminishing marginal utility. Basically, this law of diminishing marginal utility, so applicable to only one single one with a commodity in one use, but relatively there may be a number of wants to be satisfied at the same time. So only it talks about one same commodity with the same consumer. But the law of equimarginal utility explains the behavior of a consumer when he consumes more than one commodity. But in general, we consume more than one commodity. So when you consume more than one commodity, what will happen? So how generally we need to law of marginal utility explains the behavior of a consumer when he consumes more than one commodity, how we need to how he will get the maximum satisfaction, which is explained by the law of marginal utility. Yes, the law of equimarginal utility. The law of equimarginal utility explains the behavior of a consumer when he consumes more than one commodity. When he consumes more than one commodity. So, say for example, this law explains how the consumer spends his limited income on various commodities to get maximum satisfaction. Say for example, if one consumer wants to spend his limited income on various commodities, so then this law explains how to distribute his limited income on various commodities so that he'll get the maximum satisfaction. So that he'll get the maximum satisfaction. We know that every consumer has rational. Every consumer is a rational being. He wants to get the maximum benefit or maximum satisfaction from his limited income. So if anybody wants to spend his limited income on various commodities, so this law explains how to get the maximum satisfaction to the consumers. So the law of equimarginal utility, also known as the law of substitution or the law of maximum satisfaction, because we are substituting things. So that's why it is also called as law of substitution, or it is also called as a law of maximum satisfaction. Law of maximum satisfaction. Okay. Yeah, I request everyone to note down this definition. Everyone to note down this definition. all other things being equal. Ceteris paribus is a Latin phrase generally that generally means all other things being equal in economics. Ceteris paribus. So all other things being equal, a consumer gets maximum total utility from spending his given income. A consumer gets maximum total utility from spending his given income when he allocates his expenditure to purchase different goods. When he allocates his expenditure to purchase different goods in such a way that the marginal utility is derived from the last unit spent on each item of expenditure tends to be equal. The marginal utilities derived from the last unit spent on each item of expenditure tends to be equal. Please copy this one. So this basically, it is, similar principles used by the managers to allocate the resources among alternative users to maximize profit while dealing with the multiple business activities. Basically, all available resources or inputs should be allocated by the manager among various different projects so that the marginal productivity from the various projects should be maximized. So this law is very useful for the managers to allocate their resources. I hope everybody copied this. Okay, shall I change the slide? Yeah. So let me give little bit clarity on this. It is clear that consumer gets maximum utility. Consumer gets maximum utility from the expenditure of his limited income. He should purchase such amount of each commodity that the last unit of money spent on each item provides same marginal utility. Okay, try to understand. It seems to be difficult, but it is easy. See, it is very clear according to this law. If any consumer wants to get the maximum utility from his limited income, so how we need to distribute? He needs allocates. He should purchase such amount of each commodity. How much amount of each commodity he need to purchase to get the maximum utility according to this principle? That the last unit of money spent on each item provides the same marginal utility. Same marginal utility. So to try to understand this statement, and anyway, I will explain with an example. So see, to get the maximum satisfaction, a consumer will get the maximum satisfaction when he allocates his expenditure on various commodities in such a way that the last unit of money spent on each item provides the same marginal utility. Same marginal utility. See, suppose, take an example of there are different commodities like A and B till N. So a consumer will get maximum satisfaction in the case of equilibrium. So suppose there are different commodities are there, A, B, C, D, E till N. So according to this law, the consumer will get the maximum satisfaction when the marginal utility of A by marginal utility price of A equal to marginal utility of B by marginal utility of price of B till marginal utility of N by price of N. So the marginal utility of A by price of A. Say for example, take an example of price of every commodity is 1 rupee, which means marginal utility of A equal to marginal utility of B. So then like that it is marginal utility of N. When he set this equation, so only at this equation consumer will get the maximum total utility when he allocates his limited income on various commodities in such a way that the utility gained from the last rupees spent on those commodities is equal, where MUs are the marginal utilities for the commodities and P's are the price of the commodities. So I'll explain these statements in an example format. Say for example, the law of substitution can be explained with the help of an example. Suppose a consumer has 6 rupees. How much? 6 rupees that he wants to spend on apples and bananas in order to obtain the maximum total utility. So he wants to spend his 6 rupees on two commodities, apples and also bananas. This table shows the marginal utility of spending additional rupees on income on apple and banana. Say for example, if he spend first rupee on apple, the first apple, from first apple you'll get how much satisfaction? How much satisfaction you'll get?
And
From first apple, how much satisfaction you'll get?
10.
10, isn't it? Yeah. 10 rupees you'll get. Okay, good. Okay, from second apple, how much you get?
9,
9 he'll get. Third apple, how much he'll get?
8.
8 he'll get.
8,
From fourth apple, how much he'll get? 7.
7,
Fifth apple, 6.
6.
Sixth apple, 5. So these are the marginal utility of apples. According to law of diminishing marginal utility, if a consumer keep on consuming a commodity, the utility derived from each commodity will diminish. So first apple will give 10 utils of satisfaction. Second apple will give 9 utils of satisfaction. Third apple will give 8 utils of satisfaction. It goes on. So for example, the first rupee spent on bananas, the first rupee will give 8 utils of satisfaction. Second rupee will give 7 utils of satisfaction. Third rupee will give 6 utils of satisfaction. It goes on. Now he wants to get the maximum satisfaction, isn't it? He wants to get the what? Maximum satisfaction. So how he will get the maximum satisfaction? Say for example, if he spent 1 rupee, how much total he has? How much total he has? Total is how much? How much he has total?
6.
6 rupees. Good. So in 6 rupees, he spent 1 rupee on apples and the remaining 5 rupees on bananas. What is the total utility he'll get? If he spent 1 rupee on apples, how much 1 rupee on apples? How many utils? 10. Okay.
10.
5 rupees on bananas, which means so all these 8 plus 7 is how much? 15. 15 plus 6 is how much? 21. 21 plus 5 is how much? 26. 26 plus 4 is how much? 30. 30 plus 10 is how much? How much?
40.
40.
40. So if you spend 1 rupee on apples, then 5 rupees on bananas, how much total utility you will get? 40.
40.
Understood that point? Say for example, if you spend 2 rupees on apples and the remaining 4 rupees on bananas. So for example, first 2 rupees on apples means first rupee will get 10, second rupee will get how much? 9. So total is how much? 19. Total is how much? 19. So now
19.
19. The remaining 4 rupees, where he will spend on bananas. The remaining 4 rupees, the first rupee will get 8 utils, second rupee 7, which means 15, third rupee 6, which means 21, fourth rupee 5, which means 26. 26 plus 19, how much?
45.
45. Okay, so which means if you spend 2 rupees on apples, 4 rupees on bananas, what is the total utility you'll get?
45.
45. So now we'll see the third case. If you spend 3 rupees on apples, so tell me what is the total marginal utility from apple? If you spend 3 rupees on apples,
27.
Very good. 27. 10 plus 9 plus 8. 27. And 3 rupees on total fee, which means what it is?
21.
8 plus 7 plus 21. So 21 plus
27.
How much?
48.
48.
48. Isn't it? Say for example, if you spend 4 rupees on apples and the remaining 2 rupees on bananas, how much you get? 4 rupees on apples, and what is the total utility? 19 plus 8, 27 plus 7.
34.
34, sir.
34.
34.
34 plus 8.
15.
15.
15.
34 plus 15, how much? 49.
49.
How much? 49. So if you
49.
spend 5 rupees on apples and 1 rupee on banana, how much you'll get? You'll get 48 utils of total utility. So see, now we have only 2 commodities. That's why we are comparing like this. The price I gave each unit is 1 rupee. So, but in generally, so this is the formula. So marginal utility of apple by price of apple. In this case, price is 1 rupee, so there is no change. The marginal utility of apple is equal to the marginal utility of banana. So then he will get the maximum satisfaction. See, where when he is getting an additional unit exactly 7 here. See, if you spend 4 rupees on apples, how much he is getting? How much he is getting? 7. Last
7.
unit, the utility derived from the last rupee on apple is how much? 7. He's spending the remaining 2 rupees on banana. The utility derived from the last rupee spent on banana is how much? 7. Both are equal, no? Both are equal, no?
Yes, sir.
That this is an optimum, the maximum satisfaction where he will get here. See, in this combination, so the first apple, how much is getting satisfaction? 10.
10.
Okay. So fifth banana, how much is getting? Fifth banana, how much is getting?
6.
4. Fifth banana.
Oh, 4.
4. So 10 is equal to 5? No.
No,
So
sir.
second apple, how much is getting? Second apple, how much is getting? 9.
9.
Isn't it? Fourth banana, how much is getting?
5.
9 is equal to 5? No.
No, sir.
Third apple is getting 8. And the third banana is getting 6. 8 is equal to 6? No. Fourth apple is getting 7. And second banana is getting 7. Both are equal?
Yes, sir.
This combination, which means this is the best combination for the consumer. In this combination, he'll get the maximum satisfaction. See, in this our example also, how much he's getting? 49 he's getting. 49 he's getting. Okay, let me give you same example. See, these are the number of utils. This is the number of utils. See, for first banana, this is the first banana. First apple, how much is getting? 10. Second, first banana, how much is getting? 8. Isn't it? Second apple, how much is getting? 9.
9.
Third apple, I'll show later. Okay. Third apple, how much is getting? 8.
8.
So third banana, how much is getting?
6.
6. See, now you can see. You can see where he is getting 8. Say for example, for his third apple and first banana, he is getting 8. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But if he spent 3 rupees on apples, how much money he has left with? Another 3 rupees.
3 rupees.
So, but this combination won't work. So this 8 into 7. But in this 7, he is spending 4 rupees on apples, 2 rupees on bananas, which means exactly 6 rupees. So the last unit derived, the utility derived from the last unit is also equal, which means surely this is the optimum, the maximum satisfaction level for the consumer. Okay, so where the marginal utility of apples is equal to the marginal utility of bananas. Understood? Let me read once again this law. This law. All other things being equal, a consumer gets maximum total utility from the spending of his given income when he allocates his expenditure to purchase different goods in such a way that the marginal utilities derived from the last unit spent on each item of expenditure tends to be equal. In our example, see, I give this is also. So it is clear that consumer can get maximum utility from the expenditure of his limited income. In our example, what is his limited income is how much? How much in our example?
6 rupees.
6 rupees. He should purchase such amount of each commodity. So each commodity means in our example, apple and bananas, that the last unit of money spent on each item. Say for example, so in our example, he's spending 4 rupees on apples, 2 rupees on bananas, which means the last unit of money, which means the last rupees spent on apple is how much utility?
7. 7.
Must be the last unit of money spent on each item. Every item provides the same marginal utility. So the last rupee spent on apple is providing 7 marginal utility, and also last rupee spent on bananas is also giving 7 marginal utilities, which means that is the optimum level where he will get the maximum satisfaction. So a consumer gets the maximum satisfaction when he allocates his limited income on commodities, on various commodities in such a way that the utility derived from the last rupees spent on those commodities must be equal. Okay, so there is a so this is importance. Let me read. This law is helpful in field of production. A producer has a limited resources and tries to get maximum profit. So the producer can use a proper allocation, especially in the field of production. And also this law is helpful in the field of exchange. The exchange is of anything like some goods or wealth, trade, import or export. Okay, and also, so because there is a maximum benefit from exchange of commodities by using, we will get maximum benefit by using this law, and this law helpful in exchange of wealth, trade, import, and everything. And also it is applicable in consumption, and also it is applicable in public finance. So because the government generally government can spend its revenue to get the maximum social advantage. The marginal utility of each rupee spent in one sector must be equal to marginal utility derived from all other sectors. So that while government is distributing its money income, so that this law is very useful for the government also. This law is useful for the workers in allocating the time between the work and rest. Which means they can compare the marginal utility of work and the marginal utility of rest. They can decide working hours and rest hours. It is useful in case of savings and spending. So these are the various importance of this law. It is useful to look for a substitute in case of price rises. So these are the importance. Once again, I will focus on importance because we don't have a time tomorrow. Is there any doubt? Anybody have any doubts? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.